Yeah, I was thinking actually over the last few weeks about maybe I had a little idea about 2012, and I kind of came up with it myself, and I was just wanted to get it out there. Um, I just off of seeing a few different things, and it's just an idea. I could be wrong, whatever, but I just figured I'd get it out there. 2012. Everybody's like, "What's 2012? What's 2012?" Well, they say that 2012 is the end of the Mayan calendar when time will begin anew. And it's like, well, how did the Mayans know that 3,600 years BC that when their calendar started of this last yuga? Um, as it gets smaller by multiples of 20. And then it was 1730, and then it was 1999, and then just last year, and then it just gets faster and faster, and it's kind of a spiral coming in itself. And then 2012 is the point. The aliens say that that's when the aliens get to start flying to Earth again. So then that's when we're allowed to start, I guess, having more sightings, and that's when people's minds will start opening up about the existence here on this Earth plane of aliens coming here and everything. But there's also this other thing that is very interesting, and that's kind of like lots of different parallel universes kind of coming together, or maybe splitting apart. This world splitting apart into lots of different possible parallel universes, and that's kind of what I wanted to think about or talk about. I came up with that idea because Bashar says that something about how it's really important to decide what you're into and what you're doing stuff now, because before 2012, because after 2012 it'll kind of be harder to get yourself locked into your possible parallel universe that you're going to get into. You it may be like too late to get yourself into that parallel universe. Like, you can jump around from parallel universe to parallel universe now, but it'll be harder. He even used a word like it'll be like running behind the turbulence of a of a fast moving car, kind of like, you're not out of the slipstream of it, and you're kind of falling out of the slipstream, and then you can't. And he said that, and I was like, thinking like, okay, so maybe what happened, and then Barbara Marciniak in Book Readings of the Dawn said something about a crossroads of universes. So, and then I saw this other video, and this is actually a science video. Now, what I understood, and I'm not totally sure, but I think, how the galaxy is a spiral, and if you look at it on the top, it's like, a spiral, and then you turn on its side, and it's kind of flat with a little bulge in the middle. Well, like, you have the spiral like this, and then and then the Earth goes around around the galaxy, like once every 26,000 years. I don't know if it goes around the whole galaxy, but it goes around a certain orbit of something every 26,000 years. And so every 12,500 years, or 13,000 years, it's kind of like on an elliptical plane so like this is the plane of the galaxy, so the orbit of the Earth or the sun is like this, so it crosses the plane of the galaxy. It goes up above it, and then it goes down, and then goes up, kind of like how Pluto is not on the actual plane of all the other planets. It's like that, kind of like the Earth is like that. So it goes, so that when it comes down, it crosses the plane of the galaxy. And now what the science show said is that every galaxy has a black hole in the center of it, and it's a huge black hole, like trillions the size of the sun. I don't know the exact number, but it's gigantic because it's all of the other suns just getting sucked into it. And whenever a black hole is created, or a neutron star or anything, whenever anything collapses and becomes smaller, just like those skaters who tuck their hands in and their legs in when they're spinning around in the ice, they go faster because the momentum gets conserved. It spins really fast, and so like a neutron star, which spins like brrr, and that's how you tell it's a neutron star, because it has these little lights that shoot off of its poles, or like sunspots with light shooting out, and so you can see the light hit you all the fast. That's how you see how it's going really fast. And that's how they test it. But anyways, black holes are going really fast, and so they go so fast that they don't even stay round. Because it's kind of like spinning putting water inside of maybe a rag and spinning the rag around, all the water gets like with the centrifugal force gets spun off the side of it. So like the black hole in the center of the galaxy is spinning around so fast that it actually spins off energy, shoots off energy off the edges of it. And so it shoots down the entire length of the galaxy, but in a really, 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 really thin layer. And this is of hyperdimensional energy. Really, 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 really fine light. And so that's basically what we're crossing. We're crossing that. And I think that's what the photon belt is. So we're going through this area of energy as we're crossing the center of the galaxy that's being spun off from the center of the galaxy. Or the belt of the galaxy that's being spun off from the center of the galaxy spinning around. And I think maybe because of that hyperdimensional energy we're going into is actually going to bring all of these different parallel universes together in one parallel universe for a minute, for a second, for a moment while you're passing through. And maybe that's what 2012 is where you're passing right through the middle of it. And that's where all these different possible universes are at the same time. And then you decide which one you go, and then you move out of it, and you get stuck in what parallel universe you're in that you decided you were going to be in while you were passing through. So that's why it's important to decide what parallel universe you're going to be in. And maybe that's why all these different possibilities of worlds are in this world right now. Like all these different people have different theories about what they want. And, so like maybe when it's done, all those people who have the theories about what they want are actually going to live in that world, and we're going to live in our world, and that other person's going to live in this other world. So like right now you have the people who are expecting World War III. You got the people who are expecting, like, you never know what's going to happen because you really literally everybody's living here at the same place. It's kind of like in a high school, in a big high school where you have everybody there, and then you break out of the high school and everybody goes and does their own professions and goes all in all these different worlds, and then they find their own cliques and their own groups, and then they melt into their own, So maybe high school for a lot of people is where you actually are with the biggest, widest range of people. So maybe that's what's happening right now. We're kind of like still in high school. So, like people who are digging underground for to hide from the blasts from the sun, and or hiding from World War III. They're actually doing that. And so maybe, and Bashar actually said, when you go on other parallel universes, like people who actually end up in other parallel universes, they'll just disappear from your life. Like they'll appear to die actually, but in fact they didn't die. They only just went into their own universe somewhere. So, and that was kind of interesting to think about. Like what, because I always kind of thought I would exist in every parallel universe. I'm just a different person in each universe. But maybe I don't exist in another universe. I only exist in this universe or that other universe, the other universe. I don't know. It's just interesting to think about. Or maybe when he said that, you just die, but like maybe in another universe they just never knew you or something. So, anyways, so that's just what I wanted to get out. Maybe that's what 2012 is all of the different universes coming together for a little bit, all the different possibilities, and then you sprung out. So, anyways, so the one. But the longer we are and go into 2012, and then we come out of 2012, we're all going to feel like we're all in the same universe. But in fact, and we're all going to feel like there's world peace and you agree with everybody. But that's because you decided to go to the parallel universe where everybody did agree with you.